Hello, my name is Adrienna Thomas. I'm a student at Jacksonville University within the Instructional Leadership Program. Today I will be presenting to you a PowerPoint presentation on a journal article based upon student engagement. The title of this journal article is Revisiting Read Aloud Instructional Strategies that Encourage Students' Engagement with the Text. So, what is engagement within the text? In this article, it talks about 4 different ways you can engage a student in the text. The first way of engaging a student in the text is motivation. Motivating the students to want to read aloud, getting them excited about reading aloud in front of their peers. The second idea or element that they gave us to engage students in reading aloud is literacy strategies. Using different strategies such as close reading, graphic organizers, any type of trick that a teacher can use to engage a student in the text. The next thing that they talked about was content knowledge. Being familiar with your content, making sure that if your student asks you a question, you're able to give them the correct information and the correct answer. And the last thing that they talked about to engage students in the text is social collaboration. At one point in the lesson, making sure that the students come together and work together to be able to feed off each other and be able to be an asset to each other. So these are the 4 steps to engage a student when they're deciding to read aloud within the text. Motivation, content knowledge, literacy strategies, and social collaboration. Now, throughout the article, I'm going to discuss with you 3 types of strategies that they use to enhance reading aloud in your classroom. The first strategy you can use is the alpha box. What is the alpha box? The alpha box is simply where you create a box, placing your alphabets A through Z inside of the box. And once you have those alphabets created inside of the box, then while you're reading aloud, the student is responsible for finding words, questions, or even words that they don't understand to be placed inside of this alpha box. Well, what is the benefit of this alpha box during your read aloud session? The first benefit is it activates the students' thinking. It causes the students to become more conscientious about what they're reading and listening to other students while they're reading aloud, so they become more focused because they know they have a responsibility. The second benefit to the alpha box is it gives them the ability to discuss key ideas, and they're able to talk to each other and learn from each other. The second benefit is it appeals to every cognitive level, whether you have your students that are on the low level or your higher level students. So these are the 3 benefits to the alpha box when you're reading aloud, and it's just a strategy that the teacher can use. The second strategy that was discussed in the article was making connections. Well, how can you as a teacher make connection in the classroom? Well, I'm going to talk about 3 different ways that they discussed in the article of how you can make a connection. The first way is text to self. While the students are reading aloud, they find a personal experience they had that they can relate to the story that they're reading aloud to help them make a connection and remember what they're reading. The second way is text to text. While they're reading the text aloud, they can recall a past text that they read to help those 2 connect and help with their comprehension. And last but not least, text to world. While they're reading aloud, they're able to find a current issue that's going on in the world or even something in the past that has happened in the world to connect them to the text that they're reading. So, making connection is another strategy that you can use as a teacher to motivate the students to want to read aloud. And last but not least, in the article they discussed the discussion web. What is the discussion web? The discussion web is simply a graphic organizer, and a graphic organizer that can be used after their reading aloud section. In this graphic organizer, the students are responsible for stating whether they agree or disagree with the question that a teacher has already created after the reading. And not only do they state whether they agree or disagree, but they're responsible for giving facts to back their opinion. The benefits of this discussion web is it allows the students to not only work as individuals, but they can work as a class to collaborate and learn and feed off each other. So in this article that I've read and created through this PowerPoint, they just discuss different techniques that you can use while you're reading aloud and the benefits to reading aloud in the classroom. These were the references that I chose to use throughout my journal article review. And last but not least, education is the key to success. So if we can motivate our students to read aloud, and if we can motivate our students to want to learn, the sky is the limit to what they can have. Thank you.